Hi, welcome to my page again. If you are just coming across my video, I am the food tech guy. On this page, I talk about food safety. I talk about how to start your food business. If you have maybe you have your food business, how you can grow. I talk about everything that is involved in food business. Everything. When I mean everything, everything that is involved about your food business here in the UK. I'll be making a couple of awareness, and this awareness will be on food safety. I would say many do not really understand what food safety is. And yeah, I'll be going through some questions so that I can teach you when it comes to the word food safety, the basic things you need to know. I want you to relate food safety as your hospital, the hospital you go, as much as the health of the patient is important to everyone working, the doctor, the nurses, the midwives. The health of the patient is important to the people working in the hospital. So is the food being prepared, food being produced is important to everyone working in the food company or in the food business, whatever you want to call it. So food safety is a process whereby the food being produced is safe for human consumption. So at every stage, as at every uh, uh, period, at every segment of production, you're making sure the food is safe for human consumption. So making sure food is safe. Anyone handling food, whether you are a small business, a small food business owner, or a big food manufacturing company, the process of making sure that the end product of that food you have produced is safe for human consumption. Therefore, you have practiced what is called food safety. So speaking to every food handler and every food business, it is our responsibility to make sure that at every stage, all the procedures that are set in place for us to practice, it is your responsibility as a food handler to follow them. So the second question I'll be talking about, why food safety is important. So it is important because human are consuming that food. It is important because it prevents illness. It is important because it keeps your business legally safe. Those are the three major things I've simplified to so that anyone watching this video can understand. It is important that every person that is consuming your food is safe and is free from any illness immediately after eating your food. That is the major reason why you have to put food safety procedures in place. Yes, you could be producing from your kitchen as a startup food business. Even if you are producing from your kitchen, it is very important to follow every food safety procedures, every to the letter. As I always tell people, as a surgeon is so critical about the operation, so is every food handler be critical about the food they are producing. It is very important. I have a first-hand experience of someone that I know that died of food illness, foodborne disease. It is a critical situation that you should not take lightly. I see videos everywhere flying around, food handlers talking over food, like you hold the food is not covered, the food is exposed, you talk over the food. I've seen food handlers not even using their PPE, like your hand glove, your nose mask, your protective equipment. I've seen videos all around. And food business owner needs awareness about food, how to handle food safely, because a tiny mismanagement of food can end somebody either sick or dead. That is how critical food is. Many just always believe as food is food. Food can be deadly. It can cause poisoning to one's body. That is why the food poisoning cases in the UK is rising, and it is important we give this awareness. So anyone handling food that is being produced for a customer to consume, it is important. It is your responsibility to make sure the food is safe. So common food safety mistakes. There are so many common food safety mistakes. Number one, basic error like poor hygiene. I've seen crazy videos, permit me to use that word. I've seen videos which I will be sharing some on my page, and I'll be talking on them. Poor hygiene. What does that mean? Hygiene means anywhere you will be producing your food must be clean. I always make reference to an hospital. As much as you go into an hospital and it is always clean, it is always sparkling, so should be anywhere you will be producing food. That should be the standard. The standard should be sparkling clean. So poor hygiene. What are the consequences? Pardon me, of poor hygiene. They transfer a lot of microorganisms into the food. Let's take for instance, you are using a particular bowl for preparation. The procedure says you should clean before using, but you just skip the process, and you left it for an hour, two, left it there. There's a lot of microorganisms settling on that food that will be transferred into the new batch or the new process of food you are handling. So there are so many examples I can give. So poor hygiene is a critical situation, and it is one of the offenses you will see food business owner being penalized for by the EHO, the environmental health officers, when they come for their visits. Another one is wrong storage. So wrong storage is you go into a food business, you see some mix raw food with finished products, which could transfer microorganism into the finished product. So raw food should be kept separate, finished product should be kept separate and well labeled. So if there is wrong storage process, which I will be talking more on all of this, if there's wrong storage procedure or process in place, then this could cause food poisoning and the likes. So the last one, the lack of knowledge that can cause that can cause serious issue. So many food, why this page exists is to teach, to create awareness about food safety. So if there's no enough knowledge, that is why it is regulatory, it is best practice for every food business owner to train their employee or part-time. If you have your food safety certification, you need to refresh it. You need to refresh them on the processes. You need to refresh them on the procedures. So as a new food business owner, you need to go for training. You need to consult. You need to ask people that knows. To, okay, how do you go about this? How do you go about this? Because as you can't go into an hospital and perform surgery on anybody because you are not a surgeon. Not to talk of you being a doctor. As much as you cannot prescribe medicine for anyone, so is a food handler, a food business owner. You need to ask the right questions. You need to read the right books, you need to consult. Let people like us help you, guide you. Okay, guide you in your food business, tell you how to process, how to position and structure your food business so that things will not go wrong, so that you can help your business grow, so that you won't have legal issues with the government. So it is lack of knowledge is one of the big I've seen it in decades that I've worked in the food. Over a decade I've worked, I've seen it happen over and over and over. You see food handlers handling food, and I just get mad. And as a professional in this field, it is my duty to train and retrain, train and retrain, train and retrain. So it is important for you to get knowledge. Seek knowledge if you need one. Another question I will be answering is, what happened when food safety go wrong? When food safety goes wrong, bad things happen. Bad things issue. It's number one, it can lead to illness of your customer. Your customer gets sick. They eat your food and they get sick. So, and if it is not managed, if the food poisoning is not managed well, it could lead to death. So that is how critical you need to see this. If food safety is not, if it's not managed well, it is, if food safety goes, if something happen and something goes wrong, so it could lead to death. That is how I want you to see it if you are listening to me. And for your food business, it could lead to fine. It could lead to closure of your business. So it could lead to fine, it could lead to closure of it, it lead to reputation damage. So there are a lot of cases of food safety issue that we will be talking about in subsequent videos. We'll be reacting on, so that we get aware of these issues. You just these things, you don't see these things, you don't hear about these things. You hear about it every day, you see it, you experience it every time, but you are not just cognizant of it. So the last question I will be answering is, who is responsible for food safety? Like I have mentioned earlier, everyone handling food is responsible for food safety. Everyone handling food. Many food business owner, number one, get so excited with the rush of orders coming in food handlers get so pressured based on the targets they have to meet. And in this process, many food businesses ignores food safety processes, food safety procedures, and these always lead to issues that happens. So it is as the responsibility of every food handler to follow every food safety procedure set for preparing that food. It is important. It is very key. And for every food business owner, it is also your responsibility to set out all of these procedures, to train your employees, to train them on necessary food safety training. So it is your responsibility. It is anyone producing food. It is your responsibility. You take that responsibility. It is not that you are just, okay, I'm just producing food, I'm just manufacturing, I'm just a worker here, the owner take the blame. No. When investigation starts, it will start from the handler, then it goes straight up to the owner. So everyone involved in that process will be involved. It could lead to court cases, it could lead to prison cases, it could lead to fine, it could lead to the closure of the old business. So closing the business, it will affect a whole lot of people that are getting their ends meet from that business. So it is everyone's responsibility. So continue to follow me for more lessons, for more lectures on food safety on my platform.